The sun had barely peeked over the horizon when John awoke. The room was dim and the air was still. He moved quietly, careful not to disturb the gentle breaths of his sleeping children. His day started before theirs, as it always did. Each morning John brewed a pot of weak coffee, the aroma mingling with the faint chill of dawn. The kitchen was small and worn, much like everything else in his life, but it was a sanctuary of sorts, a place where his hopes brewed alongside the coffee. John's routine was a ritual of love. He prepared their breakfast with care, though it was often meager. The ritual was more than just food, it was a promise to his children that he would always do his best for them. The worn-out frying pan sizzled with a few eggs and the last of the bread was toasted. As he worked, John's mind was a whirlwind of thoughts and plans. Rent was due soon, and the cupboards were growing bare. Still, he found strength in these quiet moments, even as worries loomed like shadows. Once breakfast was ready, John took a moment to breathe. He looked around the kitchen, at the fading paint and mismatched plates, and felt a pang of guilt. Yet deep within that guilt was a flicker of determination. He would find a way to make things better. As the morning light grew stronger, so did his resolve. Today would be another battle, another chance to fight for his family's future. The children awoke with sleepy smiles, drawn by the smell of breakfast. Their eyes lit up with innocent joy, a reminder of why John pushed himself every day. He greeted them with warmth, his heart swelling with love. In those moments the weight of his burdens lightened, if only for a while. His children were his world, and no hardship was too great to endure for their sake. John's job was demanding and relentless. He worked at a construction site where the pay was low and the labor was grueling. Each day he donned his worn boots and set off, carrying the weight of his family's needs with him. The site was a cacophony of noise, with machines roaring and workers shouting over the din. Dust hung in the air like a perpetual fog, coating everything in a fine, gritty layer. As he toiled, John's mind drifted to his children. The thought of their smiles fueled his strength, even as his body ached from the exertion. His co-workers were in similar straits, each with their own struggles etched into their faces. They shared stories over lunch, tales of hardship and hope, each man's narrative a thread in the tapestry of survival. In those moments camaraderie lightened the load, if only for a brief respite. The hours stretched long and the sun beat down mercilessly. John felt every muscle protest, yet he pushed on. The foreman's voice was a constant presence, barking orders, sometimes with empathy, often without. The work site was a place of unspoken respect, a place where back-breaking labor was met with silent acknowledgement. Every drop of sweat was a testament to his resolve, every calloused hand a badge of honor. As the day wound down, John felt the familiar ache in his bones. Despite the exhaustion, there was a sense of accomplishment in having earned another day's wage. It was not much, barely enough to cover their needs, but it was something. And as he left the site, John's heart was a mix of relief and resolve. Tomorrow, he would return and do it all again. For his children, he would endure anything. Returning home, John was greeted by the laughter of his children. The sound was a balm to his weary soul, erasing the day's fatigue if only momentarily. He cherished these moments when their small apartment was filled with joy and the warmth of family. It was in these interactions that John's love for his children was most palpable, a force as strong and unyielding as the mountains. Dinner was a simple affair, yet it was shared with gratitude and love. Around the table they spoke of their day, the children's stories, a tapestry of innocence and wonder. John listened intently, his heart swelling with pride at their resilience and curiosity. Even in their young eyes he saw reflections of his struggles and dreams. His children were growing, learning, and despite everything, thriving. John's concern for their well-being was ever present. He worried about their future, about the opportunities he wished he could provide. Education was a priority, a dream he held dear for them. He encouraged their studies, assisting with homework whenever he could, even when exhaustion tugged at him. Every lesson learned was a step towards a brighter future, a future he was determined to secure for them. In quiet moments, John would watch his children sleep, blankets pulled up to their chins. Their peaceful faces were reminders of why he fought so hard. Each day was a new challenge, yet every night he felt a renewed sense of purpose. His love for them was a guiding star, unwavering in its brilliance. For his children, he would move mountains and bridge oceans, a promise etched in the core of his being. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, a new worry surfaced. The landlord had left a note, a stark reminder of the rent due in a few days. John's heart sank as he calculated their expenses. The numbers didn't add up. The gap was too wide. For a moment, despair clawed at his resolve, threatening to crumble the foundation he had built for his family. In the quiet of the night, John sat alone, head in hands. The weight of his responsibilities felt heavier than ever. He feared he would fail his children, that he would be unable to provide what they needed, but in that darkness, a flicker of hope sparked. He remembered the small victories, the extra hours worked, the meals shared, the laughter that filled their home. These were the threads of resilience woven into their lives. Determination reignited, John resolved to find a way. He reached out to the community center seeking help and advice. To his relief, assistance was available, a temporary lifeline that would keep them afloat. The kindness of strangers was a beacon, a reminder that they were not alone. It was a small victory, yet it shone brightly against the backdrop of their struggles. The crisis had passed, but the journey continued. John knew there would be more challenges ahead, more battles to fight. Yet, as he tucked his children into bed that night, he felt a renewed sense of hope. Love and perseverance would guide them, lighting their path forward. Together, they would face the world, a family bound by unbreakable ties of love and sacrifice.